What are we waiting for?
We scoping the place out, man. We ain't gonna just run up in there. That's how you get shot.
Say that again. You wow. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely
Man, you
not.
don't know nothing about no war.
Everybody knows war. Yeah. What it is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Good God, you all.
It ain't you all, it's y'all.
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 Man, you sound like a karate movie. Y'all.
Y'all.
Say it from right here with some soul. Y'all.
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 Let me show your goofy ass how to do this. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Come on.
It ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
All right, guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Rush Hour. So excited that you guys are here. Who's with me this week? I know it's always a surprise. We've got Damian's in the house. Mr. Real Deal himself is back this week. D, what's up? How are you feeling? I see you're in a mansion or something.
Yeah, one of my many homes that I own.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just slumming it this weekend, in the guest house, So
Wow.
as you can see, I had to really, slum it, and this is where I got the best reception. So I'm really sacrificing for the goodness of the show. That's why I'm here in what you would see as one of my small rooms.
Okay. It's just a humble abode, right? Like not,
Yeah,
nothing. Yes, nothing crazy. We missed you last week. How's everything? Good?
everything is good, man. I can't
Good.
complain,
Good.
living the dream.
Yes.
And I'm just glad to be back this week and
Yeah,
back on Rush Hour. So this is what me and you get this. I think we have a magical connection
we do.
when it comes to the podcast world. So I
We
think
do.
this is going to be good as always.
It'll always be good. And we have special guests too. But before we bring her in, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. So, first of all, as you guys know, we have Nick Gates's camp coming up on Friday, which is at Manalapan High School from 4 to 8. Tickets are still on sale through Eventbrite. So it is on my Twitter, it is on Giants Rush Instagram, it's on my Instagram story. It's on my personal company, Hello Green Marketing. And if all else fails, just DM any of us on the team and we will send you the link. Also, Isaiah Hodgins camp is Saturday, April 22nd from 4 to 8, just next door here to me in Rumson High School. So make sure you guys grab your tickets, come out. It's going to be a great time. So Friday, I will be there. Craig will be there. Chris will be there. We're going to do a live podcast. I don't think we're going all 4 hours. That's a little crazy, but we will be there to say hi to you guys. If you're around, come hang out with us. And we will be there on the 22nd as well. So again, if you guys need tickets, feel free to DM any of us. You guys DM me for crazy stuff. So DM for the tickets. And show schedule, right? Okay, you guys, I know we had a little bit of a change the past few weeks. So don't forget that Giants Rush is Monday at 8 o'clock. Rush Hour is now Wednesday at 7. And we have the draft show Thursdays at 8 o'clock, which they are killing it. D, I know you'll be on this week, right? You're doing everything this week.
Yes. Yes, I will be on the draft show tomorrow. We'll be talking about outside linebackers and defensive ends tomorrow. Should be a very, very good show. And, from someone like me who's not a big college fan, I love getting to cram and do all this homework and study these guys. So I'm really looking forward to the show tomorrow.
Yeah. And just so as everybody is aware, the Rush team does a huge draft show the days following the draft. So, but for the draft show on Thursday night, I am just glad that I got to sign wide receivers. So, okay. I can breathe there a little bit. I think I'm on next week. So you guys stay tuned for that. Okay, now that housekeeping is all done and you know everything that is going on and where you can meet the Rush crew this week and in April, I want to bring in a very, very, very special guest. So if you guys don't, it's Kelly I tried to get all the stuff you do in your bio, but I know I left some stuff out. So Kelly is the host of the Sick podcast with Kelly. She's part of Team Rise or Fall, Women of Fantasy Football. She's one of the best in the golf game and gamblers. I mean, honestly, guys, if you guys think D is good, Kelly, she's gonna give you a run for your money. Kelly and I had the pleasure of working together last summer. We did a panel on women in fantasy football. And what I thought was really cool about that was I think we all get, and Kelly, you probably get it too, a lot of women will DM and say, oh my gosh, it's my first time, or I'm the only woman in an all-male league. What do I do? So with that in mind, I'm happy to announce that the Rush Hour crew will be hosting an all-girls league for fantasy football this year. And Kelly, I hope you're going to be part of it. I need you there. That would be great. So welcome to the show. I know we try to get you on for a long time, but you are here. I am so happy. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And just as you finished that glowing introduction, I was able to like train my brain, turn off with work things and turn myself here.
Good. Okay,
golf and fantasy football and just the entire fantasy community has been such an amazing experience for me. And to hear that you're having an all girls league is exciting. I also I'll join yours. I would love to.
Yes.
I also host one for young girls who want to play. So parents that were in the fantasy community approached me and women of fantasy football and asked, would you guys host a league for young girls? So we had girls from age 6 through 14 and then kind of paired them up with a mentor that also was in the league. It was really, really fun. So I'm excited for you.
Yes. No, this will be great because it's something I get often, right? And I think a lot of times women can feel intimidated, right? Now, I'm in every league that I'm in is really tough, and Damian runs the Real Deal League, which is crazy hard because we've all played together for a really long time and we all know each other really well. It's even harder because he makes us drink and we have to keep track manually, and it's really difficult. So I'm excited that women can have a place to go and maybe learn. I have a lot of first-time players reach out to me, so we are excited for that. And I'm glad you will join us because I think it's important. It should be a fun experience. We don't want anyone to have anxiety over fantasy football, right?
No, nobody should ever have anxiety over fantasy football. Yeah. It should be fun. And I know myself, I do a lot of charity leagues. So it's almost just like I'm donating to the charity, but I'm also having a great time. So that could be another place people think to start if they're too intimidated to join other leagues.
Yes, don't be intimidated, ladies. We've got your back. And then when you're ready, join the Real Deal League, and then you'll have to do shots live. Oh, that's the other thing. It's a live podcast that Damian makes us do, so it gets really fun by like round 7. It all just starts going like out the window. Yeah, it really does.
We definitely have a great time on there. What we do, Kelly, is you get a minute to make your pick, and if you take longer than a minute, that's when the alcohol can come into play because you have to take a shot for taking longer than a minute to make your pick. And if you make a pick and you forget that maybe a player has been picked before, you'll have to take a shot as well. And when I'm hosting, sometimes I lose track because I'm hosting the show along with doing all the things. So I made that mistake last year, had to take a couple of shots, but it turned out well. My team did pretty well. Didn't win a championship last year, but we did pretty well. Shout out to Chris from the Drop Balls podcast who won our league last year. But it'll definitely be fun. And I love hearing that we have an all-female league run by Rush. That's going to be pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
It makes it definitely an environment where you're able to ask questions and not feel like somebody's going to tell you that's a stupid question, because I'm telling you that happens in mixed leagues.
Yeah.
Where men are just like, didn't you just come out of the womb knowing this? No, sir, I didn't. Thank you.
Like, no, I had to play.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, right? There are no stupid questions. In fact, if you don't ask, I think that's stupid, right?
Yeah,
so
it's worse if you don't ask, for sure.
Yeah, ask your questions, and then we'll get you on the Real Deal League. D, you're gonna have to start another league because I think we got like a wait list going. It's It's a little
Yeah,
crazy here.
I might actually have to run 2 leagues
Yeah.
this upcoming season. I'll have to see, but ours is expanding to be a 12-person league this upcoming
Oh
season. So it's gonna be pretty intense for sure.
gosh. My gosh, God.
So
All
let's
right.
give a shout out before we get deeper into our interview with Kelly to one of our
Yes.
supporters, Darius, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, D.
Happy birthday. We
So
should have had
appreciate
the
the
happy
support.
birthday queued up for him, but I'm glad you're spending your birthday with us. I'm sure you got
Yeah.
like really cool things to do. So we're happy that you are here hanging out with us. So happy birthday, Darius. I know you are very supportive of the entire Rush crew, Rush Hour, me, everybody on our team. So we are very thankful to have you part of our extended family.
For
Speaking
sure.
of extended family, Kelly, you are part of our extended family, and I know that you have had quite an interesting ride the past few months, past few weeks, and we have chatted. I don't want to take away from how you want to tell your story, but I'm really happy that you chose to come on here and have this conversation. And you know what, guys, we try to give you sports, and we know that it's lighthearted and fun, and it's an hour where you can think about something else, but sometimes real life happens, and sometimes that needs to be brought to everybody's attention, because I think at the end of the day, it's really important that all of us know that we need to take care of ourselves, right? I think it's really easy to get wrapped up and taking care of everybody else except for you. So I know, Kelly, you wanted to come on, and we'll hear your story, and then we'll jump into some fantasy. So
Yes.
yeah, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy eats up the majority of my free time when I'm not with my family, when I'm not working. And this community is so amazing. There's people in your chat that attend my podcasts, or we follow each other on Twitter. And just recently, I discovered within the last couple of months, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was wild to me. And I think this is a great message for both men and women, because partners need to be supportive of each other. It is not harmful to be like, hey, if your partner's of age, to go get your yearly checks. I happen to be of age. And if they're not, just if your partner ever says, I have this weird pain, or I felt this weird spot, there's no harm in going and having it checked out. My cancer was caught in my yearly exam. So thank goodness I go to those yearly exams.
Yeah.
And the message here is not just yearly exams, but I discovered a whole community of women. Now, this might be a weird topic for some, but there's dense breast tissue and there's fatty breast tissue. And fatty breast tissue can be seen through very easily. Dense breast tissue cannot. It's very fibrous. It makes it all cloudy. There's a special test for this, and it's not often covered by insurance either, which is
Yeah.
the worst part.
Yeah.
I mean, insurance is there to protect us, to get our yearly checks. And then you find out, well, what your insurance covers actually doesn't tell us anything about you.
Yeah.
So
It's
they're like, you
horrible.
need to go have this other test. So I really just wanted to share this message because I didn't even know this until last year when I went for my exam, and they sent me a letter saying, your mammogram is basically garbage. You need to come back for this special test, a 3D mammogram or a diagnostic sonogram. And I know that not all states and cities send out these letters. So I want women and I want partners to be proactive in their health. Men, check your beans. I've been getting that message a lot from men.
Yeah.
Feel around in there for any lumps and bumps that shouldn't be. And just be proactive and don't be afraid to ask questions. And that goes right back to what we were talking about, asking questions. There are no dumb questions, especially when it comes to your health. But
Yes.
the good news is I'm going to have surgery, no chemo, no radiation. I'm having like an 8-hour surgery. So I'm not looking forward to that,
my
but I am looking forward to being rid of cancer and moving forward and helping to spread awareness. And I want to thank the community. I want to thank you, Nikki and Damian, for allowing me to come on the show and talk about this important topic before we talk about football.
Yeah.
And thank the community for the well wishes that have really just been pouring in. It's been really, really uplifting. I could have shared earlier, but I wanted to wait until I had everything. Like, I'm basically done with all my tests and all my scans, and I'm just ready for surgery.
When is surgery?
Surgery is April 20th. If you celebrate, light one up.
Okay, we will. I know quite a few people that celebrate, so we will light one up, or we'll have an edible
Thank
for you,
you.
Cal. Whatever whatever we got to do. But I will say that about this podcasting community, it is really supportive. And maybe on the outside looking in, you would think because everybody and their mother has a podcast that it's competitive and catty. And sure, we all want our shows to do well, but at the end of the day, I've never really come across, except women in construction in my professional life, a community of people that are so supportive. And sometimes you don't even have to know each other that well. You just come together and you support each other. And I think it's beautiful that everybody is rallying around. And just so you know, if there's anything we can ever do, or if you feel like texting or calling saying, I'm having a bad day, I'm scared, and that's okay. And I think it's okay that we let everybody know, hey, you can be human, you can have a bad day, and there's a community that you can lean on.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Yeah, and as far as the community goes of content creators, you're right. It has been, for me at least, very drama free. I felt, especially being a woman, it's difficult at times. There are times that we will have these trolls, but I found the more transparent I've been with my picks, golf, for instance. I've been keeping a spreadsheet of my wins, my losses, my results, and I'm sitting around 80% good right now.
Yeah,
You're not stand it, but then I'm like, sorry, it's math. But the more transparent you are, the less those voices come because there's nothing they can say about it. So I love that. I love that about the community. I love how much I learn, how much support I get. And yeah, man, it's been a while. I've been doing this now 3 years, so fairly new still, but it's been amazing.
Well, you can't tell that you're new. I'm on 3 years too, and it's like, massive growth. And I love that your betting rate is 80% because there are certain trolls out there who do like to give us a hard time, and it's unfortunate, but that speaks to the support of the community, because I tell you what, as soon as someone comes at me, you guys are all on it and ready to go. I'm like, leave Nikki alone. Like, go back to your basement. Yeah, I mean, gosh. All right. So speaking of asking questions, Kelly, let's ask you a few questions. I know you're on, you got a little bit of time left here with us. So we are on Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson watch. Do you think the Jets lost leverage when it comes to this Aaron Rodgers deal? Because what they did, and granted the Packers, they allowed the Jets to speak to Aaron Rodgers, but they talked to him first, then they go to the Packers without any compensation, without any deal, and now I feel like we're at a stalemate, right? I know they have time to get it done, but are they going to get it done? And what is the backup plan if they don't?
I really feel like they will get this done. One is just the pieces that are all already there. You might as well call the Jets the Packers from all the moves that have been made at this point. So I feel like it would be a huge loss, waste of time, loss of structure, wastes of structure. I don't even know what to say without them making this deal. So I find it hard to believe that they won't. I feel like Aaron Rodgers likes to drag his feet on this kind of thing and likes the drama and the attention around it, and probably will hold his cards close to the vest, even with the Jets, till the very last minute.
Oh,
Dee, what
man.
do you think? Because did you guys hear what he said on Pat McAfee's show? Aaron Rodgers was like, I like direct communication. And the Packers came out and they were like, well, we've been trying to get a hold of you, can't get in touch with you. Now I know he was in the darkness and everything, but I don't know. Do you think they get it done? I mean, I hate talking about it, but it is like a major thing that everyone's talking about. I personally, I can't stand this guy.
Yes, I know that Aaron Rodgers is your favorite player in the league.
Uh,
So I know that you love talking about him. I think that both sides have to get it done. Like Kelly mentioned, they've done so much to already set the table, right?
Mhm.
So basically, they're at dinner and everything's done, and everybody's just waiting to eat, but they're waiting for one person to like come out the bathroom. They don't want to be
Yeah.
rude and
Yeah.
start eating before the next person comes out. Just go ahead and eat. Wait, that person comes out, they're not gonna be offended. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and start eating the food and make the deal happen. I don't know if Green Bay has more leverage or if the Jets have more leverage because both sides have admitted that they want to get this done. Green Bay, maybe not directly, but we've heard from sources that they're done with Rodgers. They were
Yeah.
tired of the drama. And with the Jets, like you said, Kelly, they made all the moves in the world to say we want Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers himself has said, I want to go to the Jets. It's Green Bay holding it up. But with Rodgers, you can't really take his word on it's Green Bay holding it up because we know he can be somewhat of a drama king himself.
You
So we
Mhm.
can't just say like, oh, it's all Green Bay's fault on holding this up because Green Bay does deserve to have a good deal. They can't just give you away. They got to
Yeah.
get some draft picks. They got to get the right amount of compensation for him. So I think that both sides needed to go ahead and come to something. And you would think it would happen before the draft so that the Packers can get that draft compensation from the Jets, including this year, so it wouldn't be next year.
Mhm.
And for me, I still don't know why the Jets were so dead set on Aaron Rodgers when there's a 26-year-old former MVP just dangling in the wind saying, somebody come get me. And for some reason, they didn't want to go that direction. But they already made a decision. So I think that both sides have kind of lost leverage in that way because everybody knows this is what needs to happen now. Like there's no other teams in play. And if it didn't happen, if somehow this fell apart, it would be catastrophic for both sides because now the Packers have already told Jordan that he's going to be the next guy, right? Jordan Love, that he's going to be the
Yeah.
next guy. We believe in him. He's going to be our dude. The
Yeah.
Jets have already soured on Zach Wilson. They can't go back to him now. So,
No.
like, both sides have to get this done because there's no turning back now. Like, they've got into the dark room, and now they have to find the light of each other now, for sure.
If
And,
Jordan Love does not get his day in the sun, I
Uh,
don't know what I'm going to do. He's been sitting on a dynasty bench. This will be the third season for me, and I'm like,
That's
oh,
a good
man.
point, right? If you guys got him in a dynasty league, you're just kind of waiting for that day, right?
Yeah,
When
it
is
has
it
to
going
happen.
to
It has to
happen?
go ahead and happen this year. And Nikki, we have somebody else who wants to join the conversation when we bring him
Okay.
in here.
All right. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Fan favorite. Evan is in the house. Well, since we are talking about fantasy, Kelly, is there any free agency move that happened that you are excited about? And I'll give you mine and then we can go from there. So, Evan and I argued, as we normally do. I think Jones to Waller is going to be a dynamic
Are we
fantasy
still
duo.
talking
Yes,
about this?
yes, because
We're
Kelly's
still
the
stuck on
fantasy.
this.
I am, and because
Nikki had to go post clips for like 2 weeks straight
I
because
did
of this
post clips,
conversation. We're
and
still
I
talking
got
about
Kelly
this right now.
here. Yeah, my girl is here, and
I know who
we
Kelly and I
that.
are quite familiar with each other for
Yeah.
Club Fantasy FFL. So yes, I know who Kelly is. We're quite
I
familiar
know.
with each other.
I'm just saying. Is it Kelly? Is it that crazy to think Jones to Waller is going to be a good fantasy duo?
I think it's going to work out well, but what I'm sad about, because my favorite move would have been the move to, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought when you said Waller leaving the Raiders,
Mhm.
because we've got Joey G now heading over to the Raiders. And I was like, you know what? This makes kind of sense. But now I'm kind of like, who's he going to throw to now? Really? Really?
Yeah, who is he throwing to now? Evan,
Devontae.
what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Me? And who do you guys recommend?
Devontae, Hunter Renfro. He's got
I mean, he
Right.
does have
He's got
Devontae
weapons.
Adams still, Hunter Renfro injury prone, but when he's on the field, it's a good move.
Just the
But
thing,
I
the
feel
thing,
like
the thing that
Darren Waller.
I think the thing that would be concerned enough about the Raiders is Jimmy G is not a gunslinger like Derek Carr is.
No.
Like Jimmy G is not known to sling the rock downfield. That's one of the main things that made him a game manager in San Francisco was they had a great running game where he didn't have to throw the rock, a bunch of times like Derek Carr did. And that was part of that offense where Derek Carr was just chucking it because that's who Derek Carr is. He's like the Jameis Winston of the AFC. He's a chucker. He likes to throw the ball down the field. I mean, look, Nikki, for fantasy purposes,
yes. That's what we're here for.
It's a boom or bust with Waller, okay, going on the Giants. Now, I didn't say it was going to be productive on the team itself in real life. Yes, it probably will happen. But fantasy-wise, I just think historically now, the past couple of years with his injuries, and just I look, Daniel Jones is going to get paid. Usually after a player gets paid that kind of money, there's a regression year, so it could happen.
And this could all why did I invite you on?
This could all blow up in your face.
Put up the comment
I'll come back on after the end of the year and say I told you so.
Do you guys see this?
Yeah, that's a good one. A regression year is the worst term ever. And I am not like a hardcore Daniel Jones fan or, even a Giants fan, just somebody who casually enjoys fantasy football. And I'm like, shoot, I hate when someone says regression year. Let the man play. And then after, a few games, like he's having a regression year. They haven't even started. There's no regression.
And that's why I will always have Daniel Jones on my bench if he's there, which is usually a lot on the waivers if I need a backup quarterback.
God.
So,
all right, you know what? In the real deal league, I had a role with Jones, and you know what? He did well for me.
Yeah, no, Daniel Jones can be sneaky good in fantasy, especially because he runs the ball.
Yeah.
Right? And for a quarterback who runs that much, that definitely helps a lot in fantasy for sure.
Look, this might piss Nikki off. Look, Daniel Jones is like the Wish version of Josh Allen.
Oh my God.
There you have it.
Goodbye.
Oh man, you call him a great value, Josh Allen. I know.
I know, right? $1 for Josh Allen. You know what I think is so funny? Every time, media, like we'd be there covering, for Giants in camp, and one reporter would always ask Brian Dable, "Oh, can you compare Daniel Jones to Josh Allen?" Like, no, you can't. Okay, so stop. Like, come on.
I don't think Dable wants to
hair.
compare the two because they're so totally different, and one's really awesome, and one's he'll get there eventually. Maybe.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. But what are we doing with Lamar Jackson? And like, why is Meek Mill trying to orchestrate this deal?
He's boys with Robert. He's boys with Robert Kraft. Now the Patriots did say they are not in on Lamar Jackson, despite the Meek Mill text to Robert Kraft. They are not in as well. So like,
how are they boys? Does anybody know?
Hey, it's celebrities, man. Celebrities become Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg are friends. They're like best of pals. I think Snoop and Martha like did the damn thing not too long ago. So I'm just saying.
That's a hot take.
I'm just saying. But I would say the real
Lamar situation in the household, big Ravens fans. We're split Ravens calls, cheering for both all the time, and just is so heartbreaking to see how the man should be paid. I am in the camp that the man needs to be paid.
Yeah.
What hurts is he wanted to do this or did this without the representation. When my whole thing was Kyler didn't get paid, and then the Ravens are going to follow suit. And that happened, but Lamar just was like, I just this much more. I feel like the guaranteed number is still huge and hung up. And that was really unfortunate. And that's where we still are. I mean, ugh.
I know.
I think when it comes down to it is he, in a way, him not having an agent did hurt him, but it also helped him at the same time. And now it's kind of hurt him. He doesn't have an agent representing him to negotiate any kind of move at all. I mean, now realistically, the only two teams that could realistically be in play for him right now is Indianapolis and then also Houston. And Jim Irsay has already come out and say, look, I don't believe in guaranteed money. Yeah. So, but you never know. Like Indy could make a move on draft night and say, hey, you know what? He's our quarterback. we're taking Lamar, but we're also going to take a quarterback in the draft. That way, if anything should happen, we have an insurance policy. I would say it would be a great move for Indianapolis to do it anyways. They got a great offensive line. They've got a great running game and Jonathan Taylor. They've got young wide receiving core right there too as well. So bring in Lamar with what they can do and what the head coach did with Jalen Hurts last year. It could be a match made in heaven. So crazier things
I
happen.
don't know. I mean, Jim Irsay, he did say, I'm not a fan of fully guaranteed. And he came out and said that, listen, I'm not going to compromise our future to get a star player. I mean,
yeah, but old Jim Irsay said a lot of things.
I mean,
That's right, brother. That's right, brother. I see a lot of things.
If you're an owner, can you have that stance, or are you with that, or no?
That's the stance that the other owners want them to have.
Yeah.
Is that they don't want anybody to be down with fully guaranteed deals. That's why they were so mad at Cleveland last year for giving Deshaun Watson that fully guaranteed deal. Now, all it takes is one owner, though. Right? If I had that type of money, I would be that one owner and be like, I'm giving Lamar that fully guaranteed contract because I want my team to win and have the best chance to win. And if you're the Colts, you have the 4th pick. And there may be some quarterback out there that you're in love with that's coming out of college right now. But there's no guarantee on that guy. We know Lamar Jackson is already a MVP level quarterback who makes your team better immediately. So for me, it's a no-brainer. You take the guy who you know is an MVP caliber quarterback right now over the guy who may be good or he may be Zach Wilson. You don't know. Yeah.
This last season was so full of injury, whether it was sickness or knee or ankle or whatever. It was like 10 games.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of the owners now are coming out saying, look, the biggest issue that we have is the injuries. And that's one of the things why we're being so gun shy about possibly going in on Lamar Jackson is that, of course, Lamar Jackson claps back. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yes, he went on a Twitter.
He went on Twitter rave. Yeah. So, but I think as of right now, but nobody's really going to make, look, the whole Aaron Rodgers to the Jets thing is probably not going to happen till draft night. And I think I spoke about this before on the last show, Nikki, was a lot of things really get done on draft night. And what better way to make two huge moves like that would be on draft night where everybody's watching the NFL. The NFL draft is the biggest spectacle, one of the biggest spectacles of all year, just besides the Super Bowl, and it's the NFL draft. So, boom, you have Aaron Rodgers, it's official, going to the Jets, and then, boom, a team comes out of nowhere and gets Lamar Jackson both on draft night. I mean, we've seen big trades go down on draft night before. We saw that last year with A.J. Brown going to the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's probably going to happen on draft night, not before. And I know that we've been saying all week long that past couple weeks where, the Jets and the Packers themselves are going back and forth and everything, but they're being patient and they're doing this correctly because they both want to be happy with what they're going to get. Obviously, there's some people saying, "Hey, well, why don't the Jets go after Lamar?" No, they're dead set on bringing Aaron Rodgers.
No, they said they're not going to do that. Yeah. It's in bad faith. They're not.
Yeah, they're not going to go in. They're already all in on Aaron Rodgers. But I'm just saying, the biggest night of the night, why not have like 2 big trades or 2 big signings happen on draft night?
Get your popcorn ready because
you're making me so full of FOMO right now. Last year, going to the draft was the most amazing thing. Shouting out questions in the press pool. I was ready to go again this year. Have to give my media credentials away. Stupid boobies.
Oh no! Oh, all right, but you'll be back for next year.
I'm gonna be back.
We'll all be there. We'll all be in the draft next year.
We should host a watch party just so I don't feel FOMO.
Okay, yeah. So you come on the Rush team. We do a draft show. I can have 15 people, so you guys can come on. Evan, you can't. I'm tired of you fighting with me. This is
you know what, Nikki? I'll have my own draft party. It's quite all right.
Can I come to your draft party?
No, you're gone.
Okay. This is what I have to deal with, you guys. You guys DM me. Oh, how do you and Evan know each other? Well, all right, kids. We worked together for an entire football season, and this is what it was like. So,
I know so much abuse that she gave me. So much abuse. So.
Yeah, I know. Kelly, do you have more time? Can you hang, or you gotta run?
I would love to. I'm getting anxiety again of my work screen.
Yeah, I know you have to run.
This has been so much fun. I do want to thank Duto in the chat. Thank you. Yeah. Was that a good Italian accent with the little chef's kiss?
Yeah.
Thank you for the sweet comments there in the chat. Also, I think I saw another sweet one come in there from was it Daniel? I think. I don't know. There were lots of sweet ones flowing in.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you for having me on to talk about dense breast tissue. Always a
Anytime,
journey.
Kelly.
And Lamar Jackson.
Yes. Yes, anytime. We'll have to have you back
Anytime,
on as we
Kelly.
get closer to fantasy because I suck with tight ends. So I'm gonna need some advice. Okay.
I love
my
tight
guys are playing, they
ends,
still
not
can't get
just
it
because
right.
they're tight.
Yeah, well. All right. Oh, Kelly,
Nikki's
thank
not
you
going to need
so
advice
much.
to tight ends because the only tight end she loves and knows of is Darren Waller. That's it.
You know what? Listen, sometimes
you,
you gotta love,
guys.
right? Thanks, Kelly. Have a
But
good night.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Have a
Thanks,
good night.
you too. Bye.
Well,
Oh,
we are
man.
wishing Kelly the best of luck. I know she's
Yes.
got somewhat of a hard road ahead of her, right, Dee?
Yes, for sure. And it's so brave of her to join us and to join other podcasts telling her story and to make us aware of what's needed to be aware of. I didn't know about these different type of tests. So
Yeah.
it's something that if you are like me, I'm married. So it's something I can discuss with my wife about the different types of tests that are out there to make sure that we all stay safe. So thank you so much, Kelly, for being so brave and sharing that with us.
Kelly is awesome. She brings a lot to the Club Fantasy FFL family. So yeah, when we have a group chat for that, and when she put it in there, we're all kind of like, whoa, this
I know.
is terrible and stuff. So
I
hopefully she kicks cancer's ass. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And
needs
like I
to.
said, we'll be in person at the draft next year with Kelly.
Yes. Our own launch party without Evan giving me a hard time. This stupid wheel. So you guys, the owners meeting, Brian Dable cracking a beer at like 11:45. Isn't that great?
I'm okay with that. It's almost noon. It's
Yeah.
5:00 somewhere.
Like,
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
sure.
if you're gonna have a beer with the coach, right? Is he like, I'm probably gonna have a beer with him?
I would
He's
say
up there.
him or Dan Campbell.
Oh.
Dan Campbell for sure. Yeah, Dan Campbell's definitely
Although
up
with
there.
Dan Campbell, you want to crack open a bottle of Jack Daniels and maybe do a couple shots of Jägermeister too, and then like run across and hit your head like through a wall or something like that. So
Do
Yeah.
you? I mean,
that's what Dan Campbell does there, brother.
When you talk about coaches who probably are the best to hang out with, Dan Campbell is definitely up there. Dable will be up there for sure. I'm trying to think who else would be up there as like a guy who you have a fun time with hanging out with. I think Andy Reid would be a good time.
Andy Reid would be a good time.
Yeah, because he'd
Yeah.
want to go to like Five Guys or like Burger King and get a bunch of burgers.
Yeah.
You know who'd be a friggin' buzzkill? I feel like
Bill
just
Belichick
like
would be
Bill
a buzzkill.
Belichick. What a buzzkill!
Let's go.
Like,
Yeah,
no.
nah, plus he's older too. If you don't know like the ins and outs of the 3-4 defense, I don't think he's gonna be want to talk to you at all.
I'm too old to go out to get beers with you guys.
Yeah.
Next question, please. Next question.
So
Yeah.
let's say you want a Jägermeister on to the next shot. On to the next shot.
On to the next drink.
Go
On to the
party
next
with Dan. Next question, please.
Yeah. Like, do you think he got drunk after all the Super Bowl wins? Do you think he celebrated? I don't know.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're celebrating something like that, you're gonna go all in. I don't care if you're like a coach that's like Bill Belichick. You're gonna go all in.
Yeah, even Brady went all in. He was like, I'm having a beer. And like,
Brady had, when he celebrated down in Tampa, he had a
Great.
little bit more than beer. He had
Yeah.
tequila. He was throwing stuff off
Great.
boats. He was getting carried
he
out
got
of the
super
boat parade.
faded.
Yeah,
he was lit. I loved it.
he was.
It's like, yes.
Listen, Florida changes people, man.
You guys do weird things down there. I'm not gonna lie. Florida, you guys do weird things down there.
We're close to the equator. It's too hot, and that's why we just do weird things down here. So it's all good.
Oh, all right. I don't know. It's hot in Arizona, but you guys don't do nearly as weird things as Florida. So
No, yeah, Florida's a different type of weird, but
Yeah?
I'm originally from New Orleans, so we definitely have our weirdos as well down there. I guess it's the humidity. Right here in Arizona, it's a dry heat, so you don't have the humidity making you crazy. I think it's the humidity along with the heat that you get in Florida and New Orleans that make people a little crazy.
okay. All right. Well, we're not crazy here in Jersey, so no worries.
Oh, not at all.
No,
No.
at all.
Yeah, no. Doing totally fine here. It's no big deal. Do you guys think this is a big deal? Because I don't. I really don't understand why people get so passionate about jersey numbers. Okay, everybody's up in arms about this new rule, right? So now kickers, punters, wide receivers, everyone can wear 0 if you want to.
Yeah.
Do we care? I just don't care about this, but a lot of people do. Do you care?
No, I don't really care. It's sometimes it'll throw you off, because you're so used to
Yeah.
seeing certain numbers on certain position groups. Like
Yeah.
with someone like Sky Moore for Kansas City being 24 at a wide receiver, kind of throws you off a little bit because you're thinking that, oh, okay, this is normally a running back number or a cornerback number, something like that, or seeing like a single digit on a really big guy.
Yeah.
That could be something that could throw you off a little bit. Seeing number 9 and he's 6'5", 345 pounds. I figure a guy like that should have a bigger number. But I really don't.
I get it.
Yeah, I really don't care about what number people wear.
No. Evan, do you care?
I could care
People are
less.
really
I mean,
upset
Calvin
about
Ridley
it.
already claimed number 0 this I think it was today, so I could care less.
Okay.
You know what I wish maybe the NFL would do is kind of adopt what they did in XFL version 1, where the players got to put whatever kind of name they could on their backs, like "He Hate Me." Like,
I have a "He Hate Me" jersey in my closet.
that would be really cool if they did that. Like, no, I don't. I agree with you, Damian, about the bigger guys. The bigger guys should be wearing like numbers like 59 or like 72.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's. But other than I could care less, man. Just play football. That's what I'm
Just play football. Except with these new rules, guys, I feel like this is just we're taking away the run game. I feel like we're turning into touch football. I mean, what do you guys think about some of these like proposed, rule changes? Anything stick out to you except for the Thursday night one? We will get into that. But before you give me your rules that you like or don't like, can I just let you all know that the rugby team has invited me, their single teammates have invited me to Italy. Okay, look at that. You guys getting invited to Italy? No.
like
No.
Not at all.
no. Although I would want to really go
that's
to
amazing.
Italy with a rugby team. So
Well, Tuto says there's beautiful Italian women there too. So
well, my wife would kill me. So I could.
yeah, she probably wouldn't be. She
Yeah,
probably wouldn't be
she
happy.
wouldn't be
about
too happy about that. She would kill me. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, how about Tuto? Can I see a picture of this rugby team? Because I feel like every week rugby team's coming out, but it's like,
He does, he always says about the rugby team, and they're all up watching, this because it's really late up there. It's like 1:30 in the morning, I think he said. So, they're getting up just to watch you, Nikki, just to see the hair shake.
The hair shake.
So
the hair
they want to see
shake.
that. Yeah, they want to see that in person. So I think it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to hear about your trip to Italy when we make that happen for the rugby team.
Do you two want to go through the rule changes? 'Cause I have them up.
Okay,
right
let's hear them. Go
So
ahead.
here's obviously the players can use 0 as a jersey number, blah blah blah. Kickers and punters can use
cares.
whatever.
Nobody
That's
cares about that.
Here's one rule change. Referees will adjust play clock
Yep.
following an instant replay reversal the same way they do following other stoppages. Before, players would have to signal back to the officials to request more time on the play clock in such situations. That's one of them.
Right.
I feel like that's common sense. Like that should have been the change. Yeah.
Here's one that really sticks out to me the most, in which I don't really personally like. It's called, the rule change is a launch, which is a personal foul, 15-yard penalty. It is now if a player leaves one or both feet to make a tackle. I think that is a dumb rule. Why would you do that?
No, that is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's going to be times where just a reaction is for you to dive to make a tackle.
Yes.
When you dive, you're going to leave both feet. So you make it so hard on the defense to do the things that they naturally do, especially when it comes to defensive line. We already talked about, roughing the passer and how they can't land on the quarterback, even though they're 300 pounds moving forward. How you expect them not to go fall down at 300 pounds and just stop? They're already doing amazing things athletically, but now you're asking for impossible things. Oh, let me try to tackle somebody who's like Gronk size without getting off my feet. How do you expect that?
Especially with the momentum like a lot of these guys have when they're running full speed to make a tackle. Like, how are you? It's almost like you have to make like a stop in hockey when you're on skates. Like, you have to stop. Like how are you going to be doing that full speed in the middle of the game? Oh, I can't leave my feet to make a tackle because I'll get penalized 15 yards. To me, it's the R word. It's the R word. We can't say that.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's ridiculous, Evan. Come on.
Not that R word. The other R word.
I mean, God, what were you thinking? Ridiculous is fine because it is ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. That Cold is in the house. We have to put up his comment because we always have to shout out when Cold is in the house. That's actually the rule that probably bothers me the most because I feel like, what is this game turning into now? touch football, flag football. Like, what are we doing here?
It turns out to be, here's another one. This will penalize teams handing off
Yeah.
the football forward on a read option, for example. Any other running play, a penalty. Handoffs will have to be made next to or behind the QB, not
in front of. Right.
It's
So
the
the
no
little-
fun league, guys. The no fun league.
The little pass play where they do it like this real quick. They're trying
Yeah.
to ban that basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And everybody thinks baseball has backwards ass new rules like with the pitch clock. The NFL's got it even worse, man.
Yeah.
I
Now
don't know.
I don't know why that matters, because does it make it easier for the defense if they're going behind the quarterback to recognize what's going on? You still can fake it either way,
Right.
and go from there. Like, I don't understand why that even matters. Maybe because it's a cheap completion for the quarterback, because technically it's a forward pass, and they don't want the quarterback having those cheap completions, and maybe that can affect contract status in some type of way if they have like a bunch of completions like that and their completion percentage is higher than it's supposed to be. That's the only thing I could think of why they would try to ban that.
I can't even think of a logical reason why they would do this change anyways.
No.
Yeah.
To me, it's just
No.
it's ridiculous. As Nick
And there are, 15-yard penalties. Tripping is now, right? A 15-yard
Yep.
penalty with the new rules. I mean, I don't
Which,
really.
well, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with tripping.
I guess my thing is like sometimes, and we see it now, it's just sometimes like it's hard to stop momentum and stuff. So I just feel like we are taking away. There's times when people will trip, not on purpose, like you just kind of get tangled up, right? And you get called for it and it sucks. But I just feel like we are taking away from the game. I'm not understanding why some of these rules are going into effect. And I understand player safety. I get all of that. I really, truly do. But at what point should we just like wear flags and that's it?
Yeah,
It's coming.
it's getting there.
It's coming. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
already
can
there
see-
it's already
And-
there for the All-Star weekend for the NFL.
The Olympics or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Skills challenge.
Skills
challenge.
challenge.
Skills
Skills challenge. Yeah. I just I don't know. I'm not in love with it. Are you guys in love with the new Thursday night football rules?
Oh.
So,
I feel like they're just giving us a bunch of stuff that we're not asking for.
right.
I don't know.
Like,
I haven't read the
Flexing
Thursday night rules.
Thursday.
What are the Thursday night rules?
Okay, so they voted to flex. So Thursday night football games. Oh no, so they're not, hold on. The changes being discussed, but they approved the rule allowing teams to play 2 Thursday games on short weeks. So that means the league is now permitted to schedule teams for Thursday night games after a previous Sunday game on 2 occasions during the season. So previously,
talk
a team
about
could
player
only play
safety.
one.
Now you have a short
Right.
week,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and you're
We're
also
talking of, yes.
and you're also running the risk of having more shitty Thursday night games, because that's what
Yes.
Thursday night is known for, is really, really bad games.
Yeah,
Right.
like the Thursday night games, that's the main conversation about Thursday night games, is how bad the Thursday night games are. It's never like, oh, we had this classic and it was this awesome. It's never that. It's always
Damien, you get
how bad
one
it
of those per year. You get one of those per year.
Yeah.
on Thursday night.
You
There's
might
usually
you might
one
get
of those.
one really good game, and usually it comes late in the year,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And it'll come. Usually it comes after that Thanksgiving, right? You'll have a Thanksgiving where they play on Thursday, and then they'll get a full week, and then you'll have a good Thursday night game. I don't think maybe that the NFL thinks that's a coincidence that they get a full week of rest, and that's when you get a good Thursday night game.
Bezos is doing it right. He's getting his sticky hands in the NFL. Like, he wants more money coming to Amazon Prime on Thursday nights. And of course, there's a rumor where he might buy the Commanders, even though Magic Johnson's already put a $6 billion offer in. So, although I heard Dan Snyder hates Bezos.
Yes.
So he won't
apparently
let him,
so.
He won't let him bid on it. So
No.
Wow.
No, he won't.
You know
I know
how,
Rio was in the
like-
chat. He's our resident Commanders fan. So if he's still in here, let us know what's going on with the Commanders, because talk about a hot mess of a franchise. I mean, my God, like they did their own investigation, correct? And they were just like, oh, nothing to see here, folks. Like, just keep it moving. I mean,
Let's say, do you realize how petty you have to be like, well, I know this guy's one of the richest guys in the world, and he can buy this team by himself, but I'm not gonna let him bid. Like, I'm not gonna allow him to do it.
Well, it's Dan Snyder, and Dan Snyder is a very petty man, and
Yes.
because Bezos, of course, owns the Washington Post, and of course they put a bunch of bad stuff about him in there, and of course Dan Snyder is petty. But I mean, listen, if Magic Johnson and his team are going to offer me $6 billion, I'm going to take that and run with it. Like,
I
give me
don't
that money. I don't have to worry about the NFL on my butt anymore. People talking bad about me anymore. I'm gonna take my $6 billion and maybe go buy a soccer team or something like that. Maybe go.
Maybe he should just not. Okay, like just
Yeah, just go away. Don't
away.
own anything.
You know what? I will go buy the XFL because the XFL is probably worth maybe $100 million at best.
Yeah,
You
that's
love
true.
the
He could buy the
XFL.
entire league.
I do. Well, you know what? I haven't watched the XFL since week 1, but I've
Okay.
heard it's doing okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you watch it? Do you watch the XFL?
I've only watched a couple of games. Like I was definitely like the original OG one back in the early 2000s. I was on that one heavy. But the last two creations of it I haven't been on like that. Just if I'm flipping, if it's like a random Saturday or Sunday, and it's like oh,
I was high on version.
whatever.
I was high on version 2 when it came out, and then when COVID hit, it was just like, all right, listen, we're on version number 3. I just don't think it's meant to be. Like the XFL isn't just meant to be.
It's
we're on
so
version
tough.
3. Yeah,
It's so tough to have a different, football league outside the NFL.
right.
Yeah.
You consider it professional. I know XFL is working with NFL as far as trying to be like a system, a minor league system, quote unquote, to the NFL, which does help them out because NFL will be like, okay, we'll take some of your guys. We've seen like PJ Walker and people like that come over from the XFL, so they'll help them out. But it's just so tough because I used to cover it was the American Football Association.
Yeah, I used to cover the AAF too. Yeah, I used to cover the Orlando team. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I was out here in Arizona with the Hot Shots. I covered them.
Quality of play, not so great.
So, and it was pretty dope to see, but you're only gonna get so many people in the stands for not the best football. So it's so tough to have those leagues,
Plus, I think too with the XFL and the time of the year that they're launching it, you have college basketball, you have the NBA, you have the NHL, and then baseball is coming back in full swing too. So you're trying to compete with the big time sports where you have a feeder league, which they're trying to do, trying to compete with like rating, especially on a Saturday too, where Saturday now.
Yeah.
What's been like the thing on Saturdays in the month of March?
Basketball.
March Madness, and you have golf too. So I mean, you're trying to compete with all those things for ratings.
Who's watching golf?
Oh, there's people watching golf. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. I just want to know.
There's people along with Kelly watching golf, Nikki.
Yeah.
I know Kelly's. I know she is. I know. I just, I can't get into it. Maybe it's because I'm horrible at it. But I just,
I just think with the XFL is, I don't know if it's going to last after this session because if they're going to be hemorrhaging money, unless the NFL is like giving them money to like stay afloat, I just don't see it like happening and having a sustainability as a league again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, especially if we keep going down this path of new rules that are just taking away from the game, it's kind of like, all right, what's the point? So speaking of March Madness, guess who's in first place in the rush hour bracket, D?
Yeah, I saw that you are doing a great job. I'm surprised that any of us got points the way that the bracket went this year with all the upsets that happened, the Final Four that we end up getting. I'm surprised any of us qualified to even win with the way that the tournament went this year.
Listen, man, 2 Florida schools are in the Final Four, FAU and Miami. So
excited for that?
I know I haven't watched any of them or out of the tournament at all. I haven't. To be honest with you, I haven't been invested since Coach K left last year at Duke. Like I haven't really been paying attention. I'm a huge Duke Blue Devils fan, so I haven't really been paying attention.
Of course you are.
I am.
No, I haven't really been invested this year either. Like I feel like you get some, some moments, right? Dramatic moments and stuff like that. But the quality of basketball isn't what it used to be back in the day when you had like schools that had these guys for 2, 3, 4 years. And you got to know them. Like you don't know any of these guys that are playing now, and
you're not
the ones you know for bad reasons, right?
You're not getting the type of play like the tournaments back in the day when you had the teams like the Michigans of the world, where the Fab Five, and you didn't have like the Duke Blue Devil team like you had back in the day with Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner. You don't have those types of tournaments anymore, where it's the actual Cinderella stories and the excitement like you had back in the day. Now it's just like you got these one and done guys that are going out, and you don't have the big names like they had in college basketball like they used to. That's why I'm not really invested anymore, man. And like to try and pick a bracket now is just insane to me because the way they see these teams is just off, because you have teams that are like 15 seeds or 16 seeds that should be like a 7 or an 8, or you have maybe a 2 or a 3 that should be or 9 or a 10. So the way they see these teams is just totally ridiculous. That's why the tournament now is just so trying to get at least a perfect bracket is you're not going to be able to do it anymore. You can't.
Yeah.
Anymore. I mean, when were you really ever able to do it? Like,
People have done it.
I know they have,
They have
but
done it.
I mean,
They have done it because the seeds were correct. And now it's just they're just putting any kind of one out there. Oh, I'll put this team as number 1, or I'll put this team
guess
as
who's
number
number
5.
1? I'm number 1 because I took UConn to win it all.
Killed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
you killed it. She copied my Final Four. That's why.
Really?
You know what? I don't even know who you took. You know what? I didn't write it down. I didn't even look because I did it. When did I do it?
UConn's the one team I got right in the Final Four is UConn.
I'll tell you what, one of the Florida teams is going to shock the world and win it all.
Okay, Evan.
One of the
You know,
Florida
you make really bold predictions on this show. I mean, really bold.
Hey, you have to.
Yeah, I know. What kind of predictions you make on your Raise Rewind?
Well, see,
podcast?
for the Raise Rewind podcast, I don't really make any bold predictions.
I
It's more
see.
of a relaxed like conversation I'm having with people about the upcoming season. I don't make any kind of bold predictions about that stuff.
Okay,
It's
all
a
right,
different type of show. Different type of show.
different type of show. So, D, we get the bold predictions from
Yes.
Evan that thankfully I can clip up and just post all week
Yes.
long. And then, yes, how we posted that he said Lamar would go to New England, and then all of a sudden he comments under, no, the Colts. Like, no, you can't change it, Evan. You said what you said.
Hey, as the information changes, so do the prediction.
Listen, up until that point, up until like a couple days ago, like it could have happened. The Patriots could have, made a move and brought Lamar in. So
I know, but Meek Mill, I don't know. I guess.
Robert Kraft got him out. Got him out of prison. That's why they're boys. So
okay. Well, I'm glad somebody told me that.
But when you continuously run a clip for almost 2 weeks of the same stuff, it's
First of all, rush hour was last week. Thank you. It's just because I wear the same thing. Okay. That's what it is. It's because I wear the same outfit over and over again.
Okay.
You know why? Because some of you get a little crazy when I wear other things. So this is what it has to be.
I got you.
All right, that's it. That's what it has to be. So yes, I am winning the rush hour bracket. No, DA did not copy you. What do you have for best bets for us? You have anything for basketball? What do we got?
Yeah.
Anything?
So I'll give you guys a 4-leg parlay, what we call a parpay today. And so it's going to be 2 games that are tonight and 2 games that are tomorrow. So you have to go ahead and make these bets right away.
Right now.
So go ahead and throw on it. If you were listening last time I was on, I hit on all 3 legs of that parpay. So if you were paying attention, you won some money last time. So let's go ahead and keep that going. So tonight, big game. We got Minnesota at Phoenix, and Kevin Durant's making his return for the Suns. And the Suns are favored by 5.5 points. I like Minnesota plus 5.5. Minnesota's been playing very well lately. Their size is giving people a lot of trouble. Kevin Durant's first game back, maybe a little rusty, trying to get into, that rhythm with the team. So I think it's going to be a close game. Not saying Minnesota's going to win, but I think they keep it close. So I'll take Minnesota plus 5.5. We have Sacramento. They're favored by 14 points against Portland. Portland is in tank-a-thon. They are done. They are absolutely just
okay.
Yeah, they are done. So I would take Sacramento to cover 14. I know 14 points is a lot, but my Pelicans just beat them by like 30. Portland's done. So take Sacramento minus 14.
Okay.
For tomorrow night, we got Milwaukee hosting the Boston Celtics. The Celtics have not looked like the same Celtics we've seen to start the year. Milwaukee's really hitting their stride. Milwaukee's favored by 3.5, so I'll take Milwaukee to cover 3.5. And tomorrow we also have the Pelicans at Denver. Denver is favored by 7 points in that one. And surprisingly, the Pelicans have played Denver tough this year. So I would take New Orleans plus 7. So for the 4-leg parlay, Minnesota plus 5.5 tonight against Phoenix. Sacramento to cover 14. Milwaukee minus 3.5 to cover. And New Orleans plus 7 at Denver. All right.
Damon, I got a question for you. You think are the Lakers going to hang on to the 9th seed and make the playoffs?
I think they do. Yeah, I think they'll get into the play-in. Now the playoffs, I'm not sure, but I think they will get into the play-in because we got teams dropping off like flies. Like I said, Portland dropped off. Dallas, for some reason, can't guard anybody. They might not even get into the play-in. So I think the Lakers will get into the play-in.
To be honest with you, I would love a NBA playoff without LeBron this year. That would be fun.
You would love it without him?
Yes, I would love it without him.
Okay.
He's becoming such a crybaby. It's just, come on, bro.
Yeah, no, he's been around for a while, and I think some people are definitely fatigued of every year it comes back to being about LeBron, especially with so much talent in the league.
Yeah.
So much talent in the league. There's so many other players who should be getting that focus. So I definitely understand from that standpoint.
Yeah, when's he going to retire?
He'll probably play till He's what, 38
Yeah.
right now? He'll probably play.
Yeah, 38. He probably will play another 4 years
Yeah.
knowing LeBron because he's
Yeah.
still really good. That's the thing. You have to respect the fact that he's still really, really good. And his goal is to play with his son. Now, if his son gonna be good enough to play in the NBA, we don't know yet. But
and also the thing is, what is LeBron willing to play in Orlando when he gets drafted by the Magic?
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good question. Is he willing to go to the OKC Thunder to play down there?
Hey, listen, man. If Bronny gets drafted by the Magic, that'll be good for the Magic, bringing butts in the seats because LeBron would be like, "Well, I said I'd play with my son. I gotta go to Orlando now."
That's the thing, and that's what some people are scared of, that a team may draft him even if he isn't NBA quality,
right,
because they'll get the chance to get LeBron for that 1 year, and
right,
you can just sell your tickets through the roof, So that's one thing that's going to go into it. But respect to Bronny, though, he has improved a lot over his high school career, and he did qualify, and he did deserve to be a McDonald's All-American. So maybe
he looked pretty good at the game. He looked pretty good at the game. I will say that.
Yeah, no, he's a really good high school player. We're still waiting to see what college he'll go to. If he'll go to college, he may just do the G League thing. We don't know yet, but he does have a chance. It's not like a couple years ago where it was outlandish. He does have a chance to develop into an NBA player.
He doesn't have the finesse like his dad. He's more of a raw player, but the potential is there. Like,
for sure,
definitely there. Potential
for sure.
Since we're talking about basketball, let me ask you guys this, because I didn't get a chance to bring it up last week. When I love my sports world and reality TV world crosses and collides. So, Larsa Pippen said that her and Scottie Pippen had sex four times a night, a day, every single day. And I just want to know, does that include? Remember he had his back thrown out. This is why he had back problems, right? This cannot happen.
Nikki,
and they were married for how long?
This is not even possible. How do you account for away games?
She said she was there.
Wow. So she traveled with the team?
Yeah, she said she was on his private. They had a private plane, and she would go with him. She never had she called it a night off. She never had a night off.
I call bullshit.
Now, this is why I need to be a housewife, because they were all like, what? Yeah. And I'm thinking he's always said he had back problems. I would have been like, bitch, are you the reason why?
That was my first thought. He missed their last championship season. He missed half the year with back issues, right? And there's no way you're doing it 4 times a day with a bad back. No way. Let alone, I say, not 2 times, let alone 4. That's...
he had a herniated disc. You guys ever have that? It's painful.
Did she go with him? Wait, did she go with him over in Barcelona for the Olympics?
They apparently have never spent they didn't spend nights apart. That was their deal. She went with them.
She wasn't in the documentary at all. That's all I know.
Yeah, she wasn't in the Last Dance. So
the Dream Team documentary, she wasn't in that. She wasn't brought up in the Last Dance. I feel like if she was there every day, we would have heard a story. Even with Tim Duncan, you hear the story about how one of the reasons he didn't join the Magic, I don't know if you heard this story, is that the Magic at that time weren't letting girlfriends and spouses come along for those type of trips.
I did not know.
So he was supposed to join when Grant Hill joined the Magic. They were supposed to also get Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan wanted to have that like the Spurs had that time. The Spurs were one of the first teams to do that.
Magic once again fumbling what could have been a championship run with. Oh my god.
Yeah, you had T-Mac and Tim Duncan. Even with Grant Hill being hurt, you guys probably would have won one.
And you still have Shaq on the team too before he left for LA. Yeah. So think about those 3 on the same team.
Yeah.
Right. So we think it's a lie, right? I
call shenanigans.
No
I call shenanigans.
How are you sleep? When are you sleeping? Plus, they have 4 kids.
If she would have said once a day, all the days that they have to do it once a day, the days that they're together,
I'll give you 2 tops. I'll give you
2 tops. That'll be somewhat believable.
Every single day.
2 tops. Yeah. Because you can knock one out in the morning and then after the game.
Yeah.
Or before the game.
Okay. I know, but they have 4 kids. So I'm just assuming that
well,
maybe
when you're that rich, you can hire a nanny.
Days to do what, Evan? Because I was thinking that
to watch the kids.
The kids. I know, but I'm saying when she was pregnant, there might be days where maybe it's not.
That seems crazy too. Yeah, but it does seem like she would be fatigued. Yeah.
Yes, It seems like she would be fatigued, and I just wanted to know if that was the source of all his back problems. And nobody brought it up on this Housewives of Miami reunion.
I'm sure it had probably a little bit to do with it, but I
that's
call shenanigans.
that would be hilarious if that was what happened though. Like when did you hurt your back? We didn't see it during the game. He was
Yeah.
like, I was just, I was doing some heavy lifting at home.
It'd be funny if sometime later they had bonus features from The Last Dance. Like, here's a scene that was cut from the film where Scott, either they interview Dennis Rodman or Scotty and say, listen, the real reason why his back was hurting is because his wife was pressing him for 4 times a day. That's
but oh man. But
Which, by the way, I have to look. I did the
Pippen
math.
is just bananas.
30,000.
hey man.
30,000 to I just 4 is like, come on. I don't know what you're doing when you're sleeping or
I feel like at a certain point you wouldn't even enjoy
Evan
it
says
anymore.
you can hire a nanny for this stuff.
You can hire.
Yeah, I mean, she referred to it as like, having a night off. So I imagine it felt like a job to her.
Yeah, if it's that much, it would feel like a job. Like that's crazy. But now she's out here dating Michael Jordan's son, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's a little weird.
Yes. What is that?
I'm like, what? Like, and I know Michael Jordan and Scotty don't get along anymore, but at one point they were like brothers to each other. So I feel like you should have saw him as like, a son, or at least a son adjacent. Like it shouldn't be where you like find this guy attractive when he's 20 years younger to you, and you saw him sometimes when he was a kid. Like that's crazy.
That's gross.
Yeah. It's gross and weird. And I'm just more upset that I wasn't at the Real Housewives of Miami reunion. See what I mean? Florida ruining everything.
Yes, we ruined everything. That's correct.
Because tell me that wouldn't have been the greatest comeback. Like, oh, is that why Scotty had all these back problems? Like, it would have been the greatest. But no, nobody thinks like that. So I'll hold out hope. Maybe one day I will be on Real Housewives of New Jersey. But for now, we are rolling out of Rush Hour. Who's going to be on next week? I don't know. It's turning into like Andy and his clubhouse because people just pop in the waiting room and then they come on. And that's apparently what we do, right, D? I don't even know. Evan's like, I guess he's part of the crew now. So we've been.
I got nothing else to do on a Monday or Wednesday or whatever. So it's cool.
Now, Evan's always welcome. You're always welcome to other people to join in the conversation as well.
Yes.
Always welcome in smart, sports minds to come in and join the convo always.
Yes. Well, we are going to do so. A lot of you reached out. You want to get in on the Eli Manning Hall of Fame show. Dee and I discussed this. Okay, Evan, I guess you'll be on that one too. A lot of you want to get on. So we're going to pair you guys off. We're going to have 4 against, and we're going to pair you guys off, and we're going to give you each like maybe 3 minutes to debate your side, and then we're going to move to the next set of people because I got like 12 of you that want to come on. We can't get it all in like 20 minutes. So we're going to dedicate a whole show to it. So
I tell you what, Nikki, since I'm not a Giants fan and I have really no qualm. Well, I have really no stake in this because I could care less. I think he does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, the mouth breathing idiot that he is.
He's not a mouth breathing idiot.
But since you have an equal like side of for and against, why not have me, the neutral person, be the moderator for this?
Are you neutral? I don't
neutral.
know because I feel like you want me to lose this.
No. I would rather have you
truly
defend your boy. I could be the moderator for this thing.
Okay.
And that way it's equal Giants fans either for or against.
It's not necessarily Giants fans. I have, Eagles fans that want to come on and debate this, which
their opinions don't matter. So
that ought to be.
Yeah. I'm a Saints fan, so I feel
your
like
opinion really doesn't matter there, dude.
It's gonna be non-biased. It's gonna be non-biased when it comes to this. Like you talking about other NFC East people, it's hard to be, objective. It's like me talking about, Matt Ryan. Like I can't really be objective when I talk about
Matt Ryan. Ruined my fantasy season. This guy, God. I got to come up with a new prediction. I did nail it on Saquon though, so you gotta give me that. But we will come up with a date because you guys are hitting me up constantly. You want to debate Eli, I get it. So we will have Evan moderate. Dee and I will go head to head because you know how each other fights, so that's only fair. And then we'll bring in other people, and then I guess we'll let Evan decide who wins.
No. I will not decide. I will let the people in the comments should decide that.
This audience is heavily
or clip it up like you usually do. Clip it up and then post it out on social media at a
I will.
poll on either Twitter or Instagram
will.
or whatever polls they are, and let them decide.
I absolutely
That's
will.
a really good idea right there. That's why we have
Yeah.
Evan on.
I'm full of
That's
it.
why we have Evan on. It's full of great ideas and his stupid betting wheel. Actually, maybe we should get the winners, and then you bring the wheel, and then whatever
I am more than happy to bring back the Wheel of Death, so that's cool with me.
you bring back the wheel of
I
death.
will.
But we'll get a date when Dee's available, Evan's available, which seems to be every Wednesday night. We'll get everybody together. We will moderate this. We'll have a full Eli Manning Hall of Fame show, and you can all go nuts and crazy. But for us, that has been Rush Hour for episode 13. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Happy opening day eve.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.